Hey, let me ask you a question. Fast forward your life 10 years, maybe 20 years. You're sitting somewhere quiet. Maybe you're on vacation. Maybe you're on a porch somewhere and you're just alone with your thoughts. When you start reflecting on your life, what do you think is the one thing that you're going to regret most? Most people think that the biggest regret is going to be failure, right? I failed at something. But after speaking with a lot of people, I've realized something that kind of surprised me. The biggest regret isn't failure. The biggest regret most people have is waiting too long to try. And before this video is over, I'm going to tell you about a guy that I was talking to who made this realization at about 60 years old. I want to share with you what it taught me and how it completely changed how I think about time now. Before you brush this off, pull up a chair. Let's talk for a few minutes. Because if you're in your 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s, you've realized this one thing. Time just feels different. When we were younger, 1 year felt like it took forever. In 10 years, man, 10 years was an eternity. But now, 10 years feels like it passes every single Tuesday. I don't know about y'all, but I blinked and my class reunion had one of them 25s at the end of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And I remember thinking, I was like, wait a minute. I was just in high school. Y'all, I remember it like it was yesterday. And when that realization hits, you start asking deeper questions. Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Did I miss the mark? Do I still have time? So not long ago, I was sitting in a coffee shop and I was actually having a conversation with this guy. He was probably somewhere 50 years old or so. And he was a nice guy, successful, friendly, right? And we started having this conversation. And the conversation started drifting into the area of regrets. He looked at me and said this. You know what I wish I would have done? And y'all know I was interested. So I was like, what was it? What would you have wanted to do? He said, I wish I would have opened up a barbecue joint. So I asked him, I was like, well, why didn't you open the barbecue spot? He paused. He kind of sat back and he said this, y'all, and this really struck me. He said, I've been waiting for the right moment. Then he paused for a second. He looked down at his coffee and he says, now I realize that the right moment was every year I didn't start. That conversation got me thinking because most of us, if we're really thinking about it, we had some ideas. We had some things that we really wanted to do and accomplish in life. When you were younger, maybe you wanted to build something, create something, start something meaningful, travel somewhere, do something bold. You had an idea of what you wanted to do and be. But somewhere along that journey, life just got busy. And you know what happens when life gets busy? Bills come, careers, responsibility, expectations. And slowly, all the ideas that we have, they get pushed back again and again and again. And it wasn't because you wanted to, it's because life demands our attention. So let me give you 3 lessons that I've learned through this process, and maybe you can relate to these lessons. One thing that I've realized is when you really look at it, one of the biggest reasons people delay is actually pretty simple. Waiting feels safe. I mean, think about it. When you wait, you don't risk embarrassment. You don't risk failing. You don't risk those people looking at you sideways talking about, what are they doing right now? You miss all of that. See, waiting protects you, but it also has a hidden cost. Because every year you wait, you slowly start convincing yourself that it's too late. I mean, if the truth be told, I remember sharing with somebody that I was going to start posting on YouTube. And they hit me with you kind of old to be posted on YouTube. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, the reality is that the internet has room for everybody, including you. I mean, somebody right now just pulled up a video on how to fold fitted sheets or something like that. So there's room for all of us. But fear isn't the only reason that, people are delayed. Sometimes it comes down to how we think about time. And honestly, nobody really prepares us for that part. Life speeds up. Years start stacking. And then suddenly that thing that you said that you were going to do one day, it's on the shelf somewhere, just sitting. And it's not even because you couldn't do it, but because you kept on telling yourself there would always be time. I got a friend who always wanted to learn how to play guitar. And honestly, he probably could have already learned how to play. He went out, he bought him a guitar, a nice guitar too. And you know where that guitar sat? In the closet, collecting dust. It probably sat there for like over 10 years, but one day He pulled the guitar out, opened it up out the case, and he started to learn how to play the guitar. And now he's actually pretty good. So when I was having a conversation with him, I asked him, I said, what was the hardest part about learning how to play the guitar? His response was this: opening the case. By the way, if you're still watching this right now, you're exactly the person that I made this video for. And that moment reveals something extremely important. The regret people carry later in life, that isn't failure. See, failure teaches you something. Failure stretches you. Failure helps you grow. But that regret that sticks with you, the regret will have you wondering, what if I would have done something just a little bit sooner? And that question can follow someone for decades. Let me ask you something. What's the one thing that you've been telling yourself that you really want to do, but you've been on hold and you keep on saying, I'll get to it later? What is that thing? Go ahead, type that thing in the comments. I seriously read every single one y'all put in there. Because here's the part most people miss when they think about regret. They assume the opportunity has already passed. But history tells us a different story. Some of the people we admire the most didn't start until way later in life. And they fared pretty good. Julia Child, she didn't even learn to cook till she was 36. And her first cookbook wasn't published until she was 49. And she didn't become a TV personality until she was 51. Oh, you still got time? And some of y'all know I represent Louisville, Kentucky, home of KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. You do know Colonel Sanders. He didn't start KFC until he was like 65. 65. Before that, he had been turned down over 1,000 times. You still have time. Oh, what about Ray Kroc, the man who turned McDonald's into a global brand? He didn't even join the company until he was 52. You still have time. Before McDonald's, Ray Kroc was out selling milkshake machines. Milkshake machines. John Maxwell, one of the biggest leadership gurus ever, didn't publish the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership until he was like 51. And then there's Oprah Winfrey. You know, the Oprah Winfrey Show launched when she was in her 30s. This was after they told her that she wouldn't be a good fit for TV. So when people tell you too late, I would say history would tell a different story. You still have time. See, later in life, you have something that you didn't have when you were younger. You have experience, you have perspective, and you have wisdom. And those things matter. I mean, for me, that realization, that was part of the reason why I said, I'm going full go with this YouTube thing. Y'all want to know my secret? I just say I'm going to post it and I'm going to forget it. Because that's just my key to success. I want to go out and do this because I said that I would. I mean, y'all, for years, I was like, don't nobody want to hear what I have to say. But eventually, I realized that I have some lived experience. I got some good stuff, and doggone it, I'm pretty dope. No, for real. So because of that, why not share the lessons that I've learned? And I'm telling you, you have lessons that you can share with all of us as well. You still have time. So if there's something inside of you that keeps on whispering, you should do this. You should start. You should build this. Don't ignore that voice, because the biggest regret that most people carry, it isn't failure. It's never trying at all. So the truth is, it's not too late. It's not too late for your ideas, not for the thing you've been talking about starting. You still have time to build something meaningful. And maybe today will be the day that you finally start. And look, if this resonated with you, watch the next video where I talk about why people stop believing in themselves. Don't stop believing. Because that's another reason people stop chasing their dreams in life. We'll holler at you on the next one.